Welcome back, everyone. I'm so pumped you're joining us today. We are looking at an absolutely incredible true story from a very special biblical text. It's all about finding help when things get really, really scary. Okay, let's dive into this true story found in Psalm 54.
So, have you ever played hide and seek? It's fun, right? But I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you weren't just playing a game? What if you had to hide from someone who actually wanted to be really mean to you? Imagine how that would feel. Your heart would be pounding out of your chest. You'd be holding your breath, trying not to make a single sound. You would feel totally trapped and, honestly, terrified.
Part 1, David is hiding. You see, David was a super brave guy, but right now he's in a very dangerous situation. He's playing a very real, very scary game of hide and seek with a man named King Saul. Now, King Saul is incredibly powerful, and he wants to hurt David. So David has to stay hidden just to stay alive.
But there's a huge problem. The biblical text introduces us to a group of people called the Ziphites. Now, in the musical directions of this psalm, because this biblical text was actually a song meant to be played on stringed instruments, it tells us exactly what these Ziphites did. They completely betrayed David. They went straight to King Saul to tell him exactly where David's secret hiding spot was.
Can you even imagine the Ziphites sneaking up to the king and whispering, "Is not David hiding among us?" I mean, they were totally giving away his absolute best hiding spot. Suddenly, the stakes are sky high. David isn't safe anymore. His secret is out, and King Saul is on his way. The fear David must have felt right in this moment is just unimaginable.
And that brings us to part 2, a cry for help. When David finds out he's in extreme danger and his hiding spot is totally ruined, what does he do? Well, he doesn't panic. He doesn't just throw his hands up and give up. The very first thing David does is take action by immediately turning to God and crying out to him.
Just listen to how desperate and emotional David's words are in this prayer. He cries out, "Save me, O God, by your name. Vindicate me by your might. Hear my prayer, O God." David is using his voice right in the absolute middle of his fear to ask him to listen. He's asking for a massive rescue, relying completely on his mighty power to save the day.
Now, what's really interesting here is the amazing contrast. Think about David's terrifying situation. The biblical text tells us arrogant and ruthless foes are attacking to kill him. These are powerful, scary people. But then, think about David's ultimate defense. Instead of trying to fight them all by himself, David is asking him to save and vindicate him. David knows that his power is way, way bigger than any ruthless army.
The story makes it crystal clear exactly who these enemies are. It describes them as people without regard for God. Basically, this means these ruthless foes completely ignore him and his good ways. They're just out there doing whatever they want, acting horribly, and leaving him completely out of their lives. And honestly, that's exactly what makes them so dangerous.
But guys, here is where everything changes. Part 3, trusting him. David shifts from being absolutely terrified to being completely confident. Even though those arrogant foes are still out there actively looking for him, David's heart changes because he remembers exactly who is on his side.
Let's see how this builds over time. Think of it kind of like a timeline of David's heart. In hour 1, he's hiding and absolutely scared. But he doesn't stay stuck there. By hour 2, he's praying to him, and that prayer leads directly to hour 3, where David is actively trusting him. And you know what? That trust grows so incredibly much that by hour 4, David is already praising him, even before the danger is actually gone. So the crucial point is found right here in this massive statement of faith from today's psalm. David declares, "Surely God is my help. The Lord is the one who sustains me." David isn't just sitting around hoping for the best anymore. He absolutely knows that he is keeping him safe. He knows that he is holding him up and giving him the strength to just keep going.
And because David trusts him so deeply, he knows he doesn't even have to take revenge himself. The biblical text says, "Let evil recoil on those who slander me. In your faithfulness destroy them." David is trusting completely in his faithfulness to take care of the bad guys. David knows he will handle the people telling lies and doing evil things.
Which brings us to part 4, a promise of praise. The energy here is totally joyful. David has moved all the way from fear to a completely victorious resolution. He's so incredibly thankful that he promises to celebrate him. David knows, without a doubt, a rescue is coming.
The biblical text tells us exactly how David plans to celebrate. He promises to give something called a free will offering. In the context of our text today, a free will offering is a special, voluntary gift.
Nobody is forcing David to do it. He wants to give it just to say a massive, joyful thank you to him. It's a gift given out of pure 100% gratitude.
Just listen to this joyful promise. David says, "I will praise your name, Lord, for it is good." Praising his name is literally the absolute best response we can have when he rescues us. David wants everyone to know how incredibly good he is. And look at how this true story wraps up. The biblical text ends with this beautiful, total victory. You have delivered me from all my troubles. The psalm tells us that David's eyes looked in triumph on his foes. It's a happy, victorious ending because he completely delivered David from all the danger. The bad guys didn't win.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact steps we can take when we feel trapped or afraid, just like David did in this story. Step 1, ask him for help. Don't wait around. Just pray. Step 2, trust that he sustains you and holds you up. And step 3, praise his name, knowing just how good he is. So I want to leave you with this question to really think about today. Next time you feel scared or kind of backed into a corner, how will you ask him for help? Just like David did. Remember, just like he was there for David, he is there for you too. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer of this incredible biblical text. Keep trusting and keep praising.